Well, welcome to another episode of Monday Musing. Today, as you can see, I'm stuck inside a very small box. Well, a box that's not meant for me. I got in this for a reason. I'm not the sort of guy to climb inside a cardboard box. I know that might surprise you, but honestly, I'm not. Well, my name's John, for those who don't know me. I'm not normally inside a cardboard box. No, I'm not. I'm normally sat on a sofa, but today I saw this box and I climbed in to try and illustrate something. Yes, there is a reason. There is a purpose, honestly. You see, today I'm thinking about freedom, about being free, about living a free life, the free choices that we have. And, well, the opposite of being free is being stuck, being absolutely stuck inside something. And I was reflecting on the fact that as human beings, as people, we are slaves to sin. The Bible calls it sin, wrongdoing. The stuff we say and do and think which goes against what God would want for us. God's love, God's way of living, God's just the way He would want us to be. And the problem is, we're stuck in those ways. And for our own just lacking, we just can't get out of them. We are literally stuck. Well, we were stuck until Jesus paid the ultimate price, sacrificed Himself for each of us, offered Himself on a cross so that we might be free, free to live, free to choose, free to be ourselves the way that God would want us to be, to live in freedom, freedom to choose, freedom from sin. Isn't it wonderful that we can be free? We can live in freedom. Freedom from all that stuff that can, as the Bible says, tangle us all up like a knotted web. Stuck, like I am now, stuck inside a cardboard box. Well, not for long. I'm going to get out of this. And the way out for us from sin is to ask for God's forgiveness in Jesus, to ask Him to cleanse us, to free us, to give us that freedom that only He can give. Because when we try for ourselves, when we try and struggle out of situations and we think, I'm going to do it today, I'm not going to do that anymore, I'm not going to say that, I'm not going to think that. Let's face it, we fail. We just can't do it. Because there'll always be something else we'll fall into. It's just our human nature. Now there's a story of a man who goes and buys a slave. Now, that was commonplace many, many years ago. Sadly, it's less of an issue now, although actually around the world, it's actually more of an issue. Slavery is still a big issue. Slavery and people tracking. But the story goes that this guy goes and buys a slave from a slave auction. What a terrible thing to do, but it's part of the story and I'll tell you why I'm telling it. And he goes to the slave auction and he pays money for this person, this slave. And this slave comes away from the auction. And the slave owner turns to the slave and says, you now are free to go. You are free to go. And the slave goes to the man, what? Free? You mean I'm free to go anywhere? And the slave owner says, yes, you're free to go anywhere you want. And you mean I'm free to say anything I want? And the slave owner says, yes, you can say anything you want. And the slave says, and I can think what I want. And I can do what I want. And I can be who I want. And the slave owner says, yes, as I tell you, I paid for you. I paid a price so that you can be free. This is what I want for you. I want you to live in freedom. And then the slave looks at the slave owner and says, well, that's amazing. That's a miracle. Thank you so much. I know what I'm going to do. And the slave owner says, why? Where are you going to go? What are you going to do for the rest of your life? And the slave says, I'm going to follow you. I'm going to stay close to you. Because I'm so thankful for what you've done for me. You see, just like the slave was so grateful that the slave owner bought their freedom, they were willing to just give up everything and follow follow this slave owner, then that's what Jesus wants for us. He was willing to pay for our freedom by his death on the cross. So much so, that all he wants us to do is follow him. He wants us to turn and follow him. Not follow those ways. Not follow those habits and practices and things I used to think and do and say. He just wants us to turn and follow him. Turn from our old ways and follow him into the new ways. So, let's remember the verse that Jesus says these words in John 15. John 15, verse 15, in the New Living Translation, it says this: I no longer call you slaves. This is Jesus' words, not mine. Jesus says, I no longer call you slaves. Now you are my friends. I no longer call you slaves. Now you are my friends. I'm a friend of God. I'm a friend of the living God. And you can be a friend too. You don't have to jump through any hoops or do anything special or understand the Bible. All you need to do is accept this forgiveness that Jesus offers you. You just need to believe and receive it. And once you do, it's the most amazing, freeing thing you'll ever do. And you can live in freedom. You don't have to follow anyone else. In fact, why would you want to? Jesus is the best one to follow. May you live in freedom. May you walk in freedom. May you choose freedom today. I believe that you can. Go for it. Well, it's time for me to try and get out of this cardboard box. Might be difficult, so I might be struggling for a while. Until next week, hopefully by then I'll have got out of this cardboard box. Happy Monday musings, everyone. See you later. Bye.